All right, here we go again. So that's how all these foreigners got rich, how they were able to get all that money amassed while Americans can't move anywhere or do anything. Well, you're the competition now because you don't pay a corrupt PI with PPP funds that you stole or something like that, or narcotics that you sold, or you're a warlord transporting illegal guns overseas, and you don't get busted because you're paying everybody in Minnesota and everybody in Michigan. And now you're the boss. Again, the one guy said it on there. He's the boss. White people work for him. He'll go to prison. I'm sure he's committed crimes you get what he did. That's why the Democrats can't get elected. Because no matter what you say about what's going on, people know that you handed all our money and you forced us out of work so the others could work. The foreign governments, the foreign spies recruited you, and you did it. Every last one of you. It's in the Republican Party, too. I'm not telling you it's not there. But this idea that you're going to get housing money for people is bullshit. You'll get housing money. You'll hire your filthy foreign contractor, right, that'll give you the bribe, who's extorted you anyway off of some crime you committed before, because he's using or she's using PIs, private investigators, are actually crooks that extort and pay off cops. That's who Dick Goodwin was. He was a go-between for criminals to kill the Marshal Service and to own it. Still own it. Meanwhile, little girl was his little hook inside, and they go off and have their little sex trysts. That's how she got big. She came in, he was the supervisor in Maryland, made her big because she gave up sex to the older men. Right. He told her who stays in the Marshal Service and who goes because he works for some foreign fucking spy. Piece of shit. Spit on his grave. He's the reason that Deegan had a grave before he should have been in the grave. That's why Dick Goodwin outlived Deegan. Because the department and agency were filthy. Okay? Reversed everything. So they get the housing money, and who are they going to put in the housing? Somalis know what to do. They walk up to the politician. They say, what are you going to do for my people? Got a lot of poor people who come in, and we don't have money. Well, we'll give them housing. We'll give them SNAP. We'll give them this. You go up. Oh, there's no money. You don't qualify. You make too much. Because you don't have somebody, I've been telling you this for years, you don't have some billionaire or millionaire crook paying off politicians so you get something. It's not anti-immigrant, it's anti-corruption, anti-crime. It is proven the immigrants stole the money. Americans stole the money, but they're our problem. You're fucking Maduro's problem. You're fucking Havana's problem. You're fucking whatever fucking name in Mexico's problem. You're not our problem. Get the fuck out of here. Want to play your fucking ice game, anti-ice games? Fuck you. Fuck your families. You know what you did to me in New Mexico? You know who you paid in Oklahoma? Fucking bullshit, not conservative government. It's a game for them. Conservatism is a game in Oklahoma. Foreigners paying them fucking bitches. I agree. It's a fucking game. Taking fucking money from anything fucking walks. That's who they are. But we go to church. It's where they meet. It's a new criminal hangout, the church. Fucking mobbing fucking. The reason they're not in prison is because they're still paying people. Mobbing law enforcement officers in authorized effort. You know why it's such a cluster jug? Because you got 30 people on every fucking officer or in every operation fucking it up. And your local judges and your local law enforcement won't prosecute because you're taking money that was stolen from the Treasury and given to the immigrants. That's the scam. That's why people go into prison, they come out, live a great life. Meanwhile, they're pointing at everybody else saying they the crook. When they do get caught and charged, yeah, when they come out, yes, sir, no, sir. Let's unload some of them proceeds that we didn't seize from you. You know the fact is, the deep state people that killed Jonathan Luna stole the fucking money. Nobody gives a shit. Spend it on parties, probably. Right. Kill cops every fucking day. Killing me because I was a cop. Right. All those people around me took the fucking money. Now there's people that aren't part of it, but they got something too to shut up. But again, I don't think they would speak out. They gave everybody something. If you go back and look what happened in that law enforcement community around the murder of Luna, and then they fucked up my life, right, you'll see everybody got something within 2 years. Everybody. People that never would have got promoted. Right. And even people that could have gotten promoted, they didn't get promoted until that happened. It's the best fucking thing that happened to any of them. They took Matt Burke and they stuck him behind a desk doing administrative paperwork all day. They knew that's how the best way to get it. And smile at him all day. We're your buddy. Right. As soon as that happened, he's working fugitive again. Not saying he turned on them, but they paid everything. Now, so like social media, big bosses love them now. Thanks for being corrupt while you were in government, all of you. We got the billion. They did a psychological profile on Zuckerberg before they opened the door for him. And knew they could get him to commit any crime they wanted him to commit. They still running their scam. Well, in 3 years, the Democrats are going to be in. Probably not. Not with what's coming out now. Now, I'm not telling you the Republicans are clean, but so the problem with the Republicans is they're collapsing all the housing programs, right? And all the SNAP programs. But if they remove the immigrants, the American voter is still going to get more out of them than they will the Democrat that's giving it to everybody else. And I'm a big foreign aid guy. I know how to use it to make things work. But you can't make it work when you open the door like that. They knew what they were doing. Send the money over here. We don't see where it's going. Nobody can account for it. It comes back into your coffers. In fact, the Somalis paid you before you opened the door to that money and the door to this country. And we're saying Somalis because that's the big question right now. They committed the crimes and nobody cared. Because the money came back to the bosses, the politicians, and the corrupt law enforcement. And who were the go-betweens? Dick Goodwin and the other PIs and retired people who were corrupt when they were in government and should have been in prison for life. See, that's the stakes. Why would they do it? Because they've killed people and they've committed acts of bona fide treason and espionage. So the problem with Republicans is they're diminishing the available public assistance funds, but they're diminishing the pool of corrupt use of those funds. So by the time it comes to be elected, it's probably not going to be Trump. They're just playing with that. I don't think you can put somebody in for a third term. But it'll probably be a Republican. Well, because the issue is, if all you have to do is make them believe, the weird part is that they chose a Republican when they were having an economic issue. I guess they gave them promise of jobs and things like that. Well, usually when there is, like, the problem with the economy right now is if it is bad, they go for the socialists. Because, you know, they need backup. Right. When the times are tough. But if you can make the case that they're giving it to the immigrants and they believe that, then it's over. Right. There's a lot going on that people don't speak about. Like, why can't you get someone? That's the metaphysics. I'm not anti-immigrant by any stretch of the imagination. The immigrant's anti-immigrant. That's the reality. Let's start saying what the hell's actually going on. These immigrants are anti-immigrant. They'll enslave a fellow immigrant in a second. So the Somali warlords came over here and said, we own it. Just pay off some people. I took over Minnesota. I'm turning it into Somalia. Same government. But other nations have done the same thing. I posted something last night. I got to address that real quick. They're purposefully scumbagging the peace talks. The Israeli cabinet that approved those settlements is purposefully, don't let them tell you it's about a mosque. That's another one of the scams. Oh, she got herself in trouble. That's why she can't be employed. Oh, it's about a mosque. Right. That woman right there, there are men everywhere that want to employ her. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but there are people that want to employ her. They can't. If they do, they get attacked. She's probably never, like right now, she might be employable because she got out of a certain, it opened, People magazine opened her up. And the People magazine will mess up the deep state. They're the ones that carried, I think they're the one, was it Newsweek? Newsweek and People are both like that. They'll carry something to screw the deep state, the status quo. Right. Well, because now people, like, before it was contained. She was looking for a job. She was going through certain avenues. Now it's out there in the public. Now, again, the deep state machine's AI, so it could, if she's targeted in AI, they'll block it. But now somebody should come along and hire her now, knowing that she's looking for a job. Right. Nobody knew, except for the network that she was working them. And PI comes in, follows them for a few days, extorts them, and then offers something. Or sometimes just extort, like my brother. They can actually drop your money or make it look that way. They can put you in a spy bubble, and you think your money's going to tank. And for you to do what they want. Again, not everybody has that luxury. My family had the luxury because I existed. Right. Otherwise, they would have killed them too. They needed them for Pac-Man. Right. Otherwise, my brother would have been a nobody, probably. Now, again, the beginning in life was something different, but later in life, obviously, they did what they did. Just the fact that you're attacking ICE, go to fucking hell, all of you. I mean, Americans don't do that. I'm 1 in a million, but those people are gone away for 40 years. We don't want to spend the money to put you away for 40 years. Waste of money. As Trump would say, we'll send you back to the shithole you came from. Probably worse off than going to prison. Right. In fact, you're all so crummy, the people in your country probably want to kill you. That's why you're claiming asylum. You're just a worthless slug criminal. Well, they got a job. Oh, okay. Well, I saw a bank robber the other day. FBI was standing there, and the bank robber turned around to the FBI and said, "Hey, I'm employed." And I said, "Oh, okay, I can't arrest you." I mean, what the fuck is that? More deep state bullshit. And one thing you should understand, you don't have all the information. They're all not criminals. They're just not going to be charged. Because I recommend against it, and I'm sure others do. It just costs us too much money to charge people and keep them here for 20 years when we can just ship them out of the country. Right. Once you charge them, it's harder for some of these people to be deported because nobody wants it. So don't charge them, just deport them. The same way their country does. Right. But don't be down on the judges. It's just the system. The problem is there's not enough judges. That's the problem. It takes too long to go through the. Well, because they district and circuit shop, so it has to run the course to the Supreme Court before anything gets done in the way that it needs to get done. I think the Supreme Court realized that it made an error in the way it handled Roe versus Wade. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been decided the way it is, but it's not something that you say, okay, it's effective immediately. You have to give everybody a year to go through process, or 2 years, right? And readjust the world, right? Roe versus Wade should have stayed in effect for at least another year, if not 2, until we could work everything out and adjust everything. And I mean, it's a major culture shift. I've seen that in a couple of the after rulings there. They said, okay, we're going to postpone this for a little bit. Right. Have to be more sensitive to what it's going to do to the larger population. No, it's obvious. It's obvious. No, they're not supposed to be here because they're corrupt. Now, the other people made a corrupt choice. There are some people that could stay here if they use the right process, but you can't use the right process because the criminals are owning the process. So that's why the American public is going to say, like, oh, we have a Democrat socialist mayor of New York. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, obviously, that's where they. When I went to New York years ago, and I'm not Democrat and I'm not Republican, but I fight for the people wherever the fight needs to be. Right. So I went to New York, and I've never been like liberal. I mean, I've been, I guess we call a Volvo. I've been probably a Volvo Republican most of my life, except I'm a hawk. I was a hawk, right? So I was a hawk, so that's kind of right wing. So, but I'm in New York, and I'm, meeting at places, and I'm just starting to wake up, and they're walking around with berets and stuff, and like nobody probably noticed it, but Hashem's showing me. It's like it's like the Symbionese Liberation Organization running restaurants. So it's always been there. Right? I saw it there in 2004. I was obviously being served by socialists. It just didn't have the red star. That's all. Yeah. Headquarters was Havana. Right. So again, it's not like a big deal. So don't think there's going to be this big sweep. Right. I don't think it's going to go that way. They may be mad at Trump and manipulate it a little bit, but when it comes down to the presidential election, the way that I see it going, because immigration is still a big issue, and some people may be angry at the way it's being run, but again, it's like the woman yesterday. I know 4 pregnant women that were thrown on the ground. Well, 4 pregnant women resisted arrest. American pregnant women generally do not resist arrest. It's a propaganda sheet. Right. If they don't resist arrest, if they don't fight back, if they just do what they're supposed to, like most people do. And again, I was detained before. I've been what do they call it? I wouldn't say pulled over, but I was walking in where was I? Warminster by Village Mall, Tudor Square they call it, not the Village Mall, it's Tudor Square. I was walking by Tudor Square. Some Warminster PD pulled up. I'm like, whoa. I don't know, I think I went to the store to get some aspirin or something. Right. And the officer, says, get on puts me on the hood of the vehicle, searches me. I stand up. The sergeant comes up, goes, boom, knocks me back down on the vehicle, searches me again. And I naturally had a line that I would use if anything like that ever happened. Thank God. I'd say, may I ask what I'm being held for, sir? It's not like, what is it? Why are you detaining me? Why are you detaining me? So when I was younger, something happened to me like that. So I can speak on it because I've had these things happen to me. So he said, so I said, sir, may I ask? Grey Poupon commercial. Sir, may I ask what I'm being held for? And he said, or being stopped for, whatever I said. I think stopped. And he said, robbery, armed robbery. I'm like, woo! And all of a sudden, like about 50, I don't know, just about 30 seconds later, hey, they got him. He's over on so and so and so and so. Like, all right, you can go. So I've had that done to me. I experienced that, and I handled it a certain way. Untrained as a kid, or a young guy. I guess I was a kid. I guess I was still considered a kid, like 20 or something, 19 or 20 or something. Right. And then what happened? What was the next thing? Oh, my wife didn't pay some fines. Right. And that was a setup. I'm sure Hughes and Henry had something to do with that. Right. 100%. So I go up there to get supposedly some paperwork for the divorce. The constable didn't even tell me what it was about, or I'd have paid it. You know, because my wife and I were separated. She was supposed to pay it. She didn't pay it. Right. I even actually yelled at her one time. I said, "Did you pay this? You're supposed to pay it. What's going on?" She goes, "Okay, okay, I'll take care of it." Never did. Right. I was trying, trying to make it an amicable divorce, best I could. Again, the deep state was trying to make it something else. Right. Well, because I couldn't stay, she was killing me. I mean, at a certain point, like I was the breadwinner. So by her killing me, she was killing her own money. I mean, she was lost at that point. Right. So so I ended up getting detained there, and then the correctional officer hooked it up, brought a judge in, and I was out of there a short period of time. Like, what are you doing here? And the other correctional officer was like, I can't believe he did it. Can't believe he did it. They're like constable. They say correctional constable drove me to my car because they called in a constable to take me to my car. He was like felt so bad. I'm like, well, yeah. I still wasn't free to tell him about. I wasn't free to talk about that thing. I didn't call it the deep state, but I knew it was that. Right? And they made it. Right. We just don't speak about it. But I picked up people from the jail before. So the jail supervisor's like, "What are you doing here?" Jesus Christ! For him, it's a trouble. But of all places, so to show you, I'm not an anti-immigrant. So he puts me in a cell with the federal immigrants that are going to be deported. So they're like Mexicans, and we're talking, and they're like, "Well, yeah. If you ever get down to Mexico City, go to this gym. That's where I work out." That was actually my plan, but it fell apart. Again, it's Satan. I was thinking of moving to Mexico because me and the Mexican people got along great until they turned corrupt. Right. It's like a big man down there inside. I help people. I'm like a CEO. I'm the CEO of Hashem, of Hashem Incorporated. I'm the CEO of Hashem Incorporated. That's what it is. Is this loud enough? Well, cool your jets and let law enforcement do what they need to do. I mean, again, there was another one with the reckless driving, and the cop didn't do what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to take me to the hospital. I didn't rebel. I crashed the stock market for about 4 days, and then I got out. I crashed the stock market twice that year. I just woke up. I looked at the newspaper. I started cursing the market. I said, "Hey, I'll get out of here." And then Social Security did something screwy because they want says you have to get Social Security. I said, "Look, it's not their fault. It's your fault. I'm not getting Social Security. You got your disability information. You give me my disability." It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I said, "Bullshit. They're not paying. You're paying." So I had to go get Social Security. So then they put some freaking condition on it. And my mom's like, "Bullshit." Not playing that game. See, they got my mother. They screwed up her head. Right. But then I got her back. And then they screwed her up again. No, it's not her. It's them. Right. They're triggering. So I think I crashed the market for a few days there. And then all of a sudden it all went away. Yeah, we're not doing that now because people don't have money and we're just gonna ride it out. Right. The everyday person is more so in the market these days. We don't want people. One thing we don't want is for people. You see people in their like 70s working. We don't want. Again, they got that guy $1 million or whatever and he retired. But there's a lot of people that end up like that. Right. We're trying to help. help them, so we don't want to mess with the market. That former GM employee was pretty weird. Right. Satan got him. So I've been through it, and I mean, there was less reason for me to be in those predicaments than any of you. Right. They drugged me in Omaha. I had already been drugged, but they hit me hard in Omaha. I believe they wiped it on the vehicle. I don't believe it was in my drink. He tried to make me believe it was in my drink. He timed it so when I took a sip from my drink that he would say something. Right. That's just like same thing with the break-ins. Right. Thank you, Larry. Kind of screwed. I found some vinyl rug that I want, but it's not matte. I like the matte finish. I have one piece here that's a little shiny. I really don't like it. It doesn't look as real, but it's cheap, and I need to get a full-size piece for my bedroom so I can pull the piece out of there and then join these two pieces out here in the front. And then take the small piece and put it underneath my dinette set there, and then move that piece out to the shed so I have something on the shed so I can finish building out my shed. There's an inspection like on the 30th, so I have to get everything done. I don't have to, but I want to get everything done by then. I start setting up my shed because the flooring's in. The vinyl. It's a protection for the floor. It's like the old area rugs. I don't use area rugs. I use pieces of vinyl flooring. Much cleaner. That really pissed me off. That Somali dude. You work for us. It's all corruption. That's why we work. It has nothing to do with any power or lawful business, right? The PIs are doing it to us. I told you years ago. Crooked marshals. Somali warlord puts them in and shit like that, and narcos, right? That makes sense with you since the son was, DEA suspected him of working with the narcos. They honored what time he did serve in their agency and didn't charge him, but he had to move on, obviously. And then his dad shows up as marshal, and he screws up everything, and then federal. That's when Luna was killed, and the whole federal community in frickin' Baltimore falls, right? That's who took over. Russians, narcos, you name it. They take money. It's all green to them, right? If we had gotten the marshal, that one guy, that's why they didn't select him. The union guy from Baltimore County, he was a narcotics detective, but he was a union rep, FOP. If he came in, it'd have worked well. It would have repelled all the attacks. Right. McKinney repelled the attacks for years. A lot of people don't like Democrats, but well, you have to understand, it's not just me. There's a lot of other people, including Chris Fiore. But there's FBI agents. Like I didn't have the FBI side of the story. I just knew something was up. Like when it started falling, I knew something was up. It's actually volume might be too low. Oh, I see. That's too low. Bring this up here. Testing. That's still a little low. Somebody's got to be doing something. They're resetting my volume all the time. Yeah, it's a porn virus. My ass. that's their joke all the time. F-heads. All right, that should be. That's not even. What the hell? They did something to my volume there. Right. They hack all the time. Get that the little hissy fits they have. So they hack. Oh, it's because I got myself in trouble. Yeah, foo you and foo your family. Actually, I'm using the wrong one. But still, they did something. I'm sure it's the right settings. But it shouldn't have to be that high. All right, it should be louder now. It's still not louder. That's weird. What the hell did they do to my volume in my computer? So they readjust the. If they hack it, they can readjust values. Take a look at it again. It's still not that loud. Okay, it's almost there. Let me put this one down a little bit. All right, that. No, let's take it down to where it was. It may have been loud enough. I just don't have a wife or anything to check it when I'm online. If I pull it up, there'll be some feedback probably. I guess I could mute the mic for a second. So the whole time they have these operators destroying my life. I mean, they live in the communities. They either live there already or they move them in, right? And then they find the people to hire, right? They stalk me all around the United States. No, I'm not a serial killer or anything like that. They use that bullshit, right? That's the only way they can do it. So they had to take over the cold case investigation, make it a scam. And of course, again, the same thing as when we look at the mafia, when they run a business, some of it's legitimate business. Same thing with the scam that's missing exploited children. The same thing when the scams in cold cases, that type of thing. Right. Thank you. Well, something like Minnesota and stuff like that's going to happen because Texas on purpose decreased its Democratic Party population by making it unlivable for them. Right. So then they have to go somewhere. And they're going to go someplace like Minnesota or Michigan. Right. And the only people that can afford to live there are crooks or people on government assistance. Like in Santa Fe, a lot of people lived in, and their parents had more money than I did. I mean, I didn't have any money, really. I just had income. But their parents had money. So the scam in Santa Fe is your daughter, your son goes to work, and they're not making any money. They get a nicer apartment than somebody who makes a lot more money can get because they don't have any money. But the parents have money. Right. And, they don't have to claim that as income. Right. Thank you, Larry. I somehow this Russian lesbian woman, young woman, but the older women, all the older lesbians were taking advantage of her, and I tried to help her, but eventually I had to just disconnect. It just got too weird. I said, nah. She was she was walking one day and she asked me for a ride, and then she kept calling me, asked me for a ride, and I didn't care. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep giving you a ride. She obviously had psychological disorder of some sort, right? But the older lesbians kept, from what I was gleaming, were taking advantage of her. And then she's like, okay, you can move in. I'm going to move into one of my mom's houses and you can have a room there, and I'll charge you this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she was like, it just got crazy. It's like all of a sudden it was no. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing this because it's already weird. I mean, I get calls at strange times and, I'm like, okay. Right. She was in a group home and she was trying to get out of the group home. Right. I give her rides to the group home and everything. When she needed to go shopping, I'd pick her up if she needed me to pick her up, that kind of thing. Right. And then a couple times I took her to her girlfriends. But then she started explaining how they're taking advantage. I mean, to her, I don't think she called it that, but they were taking advantage of her. Right. And then she was like, well, I talked to my mother, you can move in, and then you can't move in. Again, the deep state probably told her no or something, right? I'm like, nah, that's okay. I mean, I need to move on. Right. No, I never had sex with a single person while I lived there or Florida. Right. So don't listen to them. Right. Oh, the big scam is that you don't see him at the casinos, do you? No, that's because he's in Albuquerque at the gay hangouts and having sex with kids, prostitutes. Right. This is the kind of shit they do, and they get government contracts at times. That's how it works. Right. Can you imagine that? The government paid money for fraud. The government took what CIA is supposed to be doing to the Russians and did it to the American citizen while the Russian got rich. Same shit. Same shit. Hughes, Henry. 100%. 100%. They don't use it against the crook. Crook comes out of jail, wonderful life. In fact, they may enrich the crook if they do what they ask them to do. So again, I don't see Democrats making the next presidency. I just really don't. So it's pretty much bullshit. Now, I'm not telling you that Trump's doing everything right. I'm just telling you, you're not prepared to do anything right. Prepared to hand the money back over to the foreign governments and the foreigners. I mean, all the Republicans forgot. I mean, you must have cursed them down. The figures of what the money's actually doing, like what it could have been used for, how much income an American could have garnered from what they were sending overseas for bullshit. Right. 100%. I mean, Americans are watching you support every foreigner you can find. Why? Because they're paying you money. Right. That's why the American citizen doesn't have any representation, because you're not bribing politicians. Because you don't have any money left, because they sold the nation. Billionaires included. They sold the nation. And guess who all the dirty cops work for now? Officially now. The billionaires and multimillionaires. They bought in the 90s through 2000, into this millennium. So the only way is to charge them. The FBI would let them go. And when it was obvious that everybody knew, well, you got to move on. So what do? They move on to a job making 3 times as much money. And everybody else sees that. So when they call back, everybody's ready to jump on board and be the next one. And then when they can't hide it anymore, well, you got to move along. Then they move on to the job making 3 times as much money. It's called treason. It's called espionage. Trying to tell me that's how it works. Fuck you and fuck your families. Right. Felony treason. Felony espionage that caused death. Life imprisonment. Every last one of you.
course, some of them also material support of a terrorist organization. Minnesota gives money in material support of terrorist organizations. 100%. Federal and state funds. Agreed. Go ahead, keep trying to flip me against the Republican Party. Keep going, Democrats. Just keep going. You'll end up in prison, every last one of you. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God. You did it, not me, all of you. Keep your people away from me before I fuck your party into hell.